Welcome to Gentoo. I'm Mackenzie Doherty, and this is your source for all things video game and tech related. Let's start things off with this week's up-and-coming releases. You can look forward to seeing these titles and many more released throughout the month on your favorite platforms. This week's releases are Super Lucky's Tale for the PC and Xbox One, November 7th. Neo Complete Edition for the PC, November 7th. Hand of Fate 2 for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, November 7th. Hitman Game of the Year Edition for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One, November 7th. Horizon Zero Dawn The Frozen Wilds for the PS4, November 7th. Killing Floor Incursion for the Vive, November 7th. Sonic Forces Project Sonic for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, November 7th. Xbox One X console launch, November 7th. Need for Speed Payback for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One, November 10th. Mario Party, the Top 100 for the 3DS, November 10th. Football Manager 2018 for the PC, November 10th. The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs expansion for the PC, November 10th. Doom for the Switch, November 10th. These games and many more will be releasing throughout the month, so be sure to keep an eye out for them. Up next, check out What Happened With.
Hello, I've decided to drop out of school and join a gang, but anyway, welcome to What Happened With. This week, we're looking at what happened with Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 was made by Volition and released in 2013. Saints Row is an open-world sandbox game where you play as the leader of the 3rd Street Saints gang, who is made President of the United States, and then abducted by aliens and put into a simulated world similar to the Matrix. No, none of that was a joke. The Saints Row series is so ridiculous that, indeed, that is the main plot of the game. The series was originally made to be a serious GTA clone, but as the series progressed, it got sillier and sillier, to the point where in the 4th game, you are a superhero flying around in the digital city of Steelport, shooting lasers from your hands and smacking people with Hulk hands. What? Why Saints Row 4 is so interesting is the fact that it really shouldn't have ever existed in the first place. It got released even though the main publishing company for the other Saints Row games, THQ, went bankrupt. THQ had a history of spending a lot of money on games they thought would be huge successes but turned out to be flops, such as the Homefront series and tons of shovelware games like the video game versions of Wheel of Fortune. This led THQ to declare bankruptcy. With THQ's bankruptcy, many of its properties were sold off to other groups. These sales included Volition. Volition is the studio that had made the other Saints Row games. Apparently, Volition had so much planned DLC for the 3rd Saints Row game that when they went to their new parent company with all the content they had planned, they were told they should just make another game. The game itself isn't very different from the 3rd game in the sense that the engine ran the game pretty much the same. Everything looked really similar, everything felt kind of the same, but the core of the game had completely shifted with the addition of superpowers. Instead of having to drive fast cars and shoot guns all the time, now you could drive around in fast cars and shoot guns and fly through the sky and move stuff with your mind. The game was no major success by all means, but it allowed Volition to keep making games. They recently released a new game called Agents of Mayhem that takes place in the Saints Row universe, but set a couple years in the future. I haven't really gotten a chance to play the game, but it looks like it has a lot to do with Saints Row 4. So what happened with Saints Row 4? It got released even though THQ went under and allowed Volition to keep making games. I'm Nathaniel Cochran, and you're watching Gentoo.
Thanks, Nathaniel. The publisher that brought the Dark Souls and Dishonored comics will release a Bloodborne series in the coming year. Bloodborne, The Death of Sleep, will be written by Alice Kopp of Secret Avengers fame, who seems to have a history with the universe. Bloodborne is one of my all-time favorite games, Kopp said in a press release. I put close to 200 hours into playing and researching its universe, and that was before I even knew there would be a comic. I was obsessed. I am honored to be working within the Bloodborne universe. Issue 1 is set to hit shelves in February 2018. We'll continue after some commercials, but first, here's Insight on eSports.
Welcome to another edition of Insight on eSports. I'm Sean Nino. This past week, ESL 1 Hamburg occurred, and headlining the event was Defense of the Ancients 2. Virtuous Pro won the event and went 7-2 during the entire tournament. Team Secret fought hard but got swept in the grand finals and they placed second. Team Liquid finished 5-4 and secured third place. Newbie, while only having a record of 5-6, used a late surge to get fourth place. The League of Legends World Championship is nearing its end, with only the finals left to be played. In the semi-final matchups, Samsung Galaxy earned its spot with a 3-1 victory over Team World Elite. I thought this would be a closer matchup after WE won the first game in quick fashion. Samsung made quick work of WE in Game 2. The third game was a bit more drawn out, but the game was never in question for Samsung. In the finale of the series, WE secured some kills and early objectives to try and win Game 4, but Samsung used superior team fighting to end the game and move on to the finals. The semi-final between three-time world champion SK Telecom T1 and hometown favorite Royal Never Give Up lived up to the hype and delivered a 5-game brawl for the world to enjoy. While my prediction of the RNG 3-2 win did not come to fruition, everyone can still say it was a great series. With SKT winning 3-2, we got to see why Lee Sang-hyuk, aka Faker, is the best player to ever play League of Legends. He single-handedly carried his team while playing the champion Galio every game. This sets up a rematch of last year's final between Samsung and SKT. It went the distance last year, and I expect nothing less from this year's matchup. Both teams have ample experience on the international stage, and I predict a 3-2 win for SKT over Samsung, and the MVP will once again be Faker. Last week I covered some collegiate League of Legends, and during this week, Garena Philippines announced that they will be debuting LOL Varsity League early next month, an initiative whose goal is to grow collegiate esports not only as a league, but as a tool for education. The program will begin with 7 partner schools. Esports are growing, not only here in America, but all over the world. All 12 Overwatch League teams have been announced: the London Spitfire, Seoul Dynasty, Philadelphia Fusion, Houston Outlaws, Florida Mayhem, Los Angeles Gladiators, and the New York Excelsior. These are the newest names that have been announced. I don't know about you, but all of these names seem fitting except one. New York. With all jokes aside, each of these teams have put in the work, and the league will start once 2018 rolls around. This concludes Insight on eSports. This week I covered Dota 2 at ESL 1 Hamburg, the LOL World Semi-Finals, Garena Philippines setting up an LOL Varsity League, and the naming updates for the Overwatch League. Thanks for watching. Let's send it back to Gentoo.
Welcome back to Gentoo. I'm your host, Mackenzie Doherty, and you just saw Insight on eSports. Now it's time for NWIRL, where we'll take a look at some of the nerd culture right here in Maryville.
Hello and welcome to NWIRL. I'm Justin Wood, and this is the show where we meet you, the nerds, right here on Northwest Campus. Let's jump right in to meet this week's featured nerd.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Alstad, and I'm the president of the fencing club. I got interested in fencing, I started in middle school because I had never really connected with other sports I played volleyball, basketball, softball, tennis. I just never really found my place there. I actually started the fencing club here. My coach back at home has been hounding me to start a club down here so he can come down and help us out. Our equipment entails of, most people don't know this, but when you fence, you're actually on an electric strip, but you actually have cords running all the way through you, and it looks like you're almost on a leash. You're hooked up to a reel, and the reel is connected to a box, which is the score box. We also use fencing jackets, knickers, which are the pants, a chest protector, that's optional, but you definitely want one, otherwise you can get bruised like no other. So we'll teach you the very basics of fencing with footwork, all the way up to complicated rhythmics, like I was telling you earlier, like with counter posts or counter parries, counter attacks, all that jazz. So it's a very linear progression.
My favorite part about fencing is getting out with your friends, trying something new, doing something different, putting your heart and soul into stabbing one another.
Our club is actually kind of on hiatus this semester just because we just want to get like the basis of the club a little bit more stable. So as far as stuff coming up, I plan on starting like full on in January, where there'll be structured practices, and I'm hoping to have a bunch of clinics with my coach from back home coming down to host some stuff and maybe bringing some of his fencers down to do a meet. And as far as fundraising, I'd like to see that get started because we do need more equipment. We'll be in the org fair in the spring. As well, you can look on Bearcat Link. We'll also put signs and flyers up, or if you know my name, you can just shoot me an email like, hey, what is Fencing Club? And I'm more than willing to either meet up with you or I'll write you back ASAP. I'm Cassandra Alfstad, and you're watching Gentoo.
Thanks, guys. If you, your event, or your organization want to be featured on NWIRL, you can message us on Facebook or email respawn@knwt8@gmail.com with the subject line NWIRL. MIT has created an intelligence that writes scary stories. Named after Frankenstein author Mary Shelley, Shelley tweets at the beginning of a new horror story every hour, followed by #YourTurn. As an invitation to human co-writers, anyone is welcome to reply to the tweet within the next installment of the story, thereby prompting Shelley to reply again with the next part. Shelley was trained on 140,000 horror stories from the popular subreddit r/NoSleep. Shelley is constantly learning from new writers and has completed over 100 stories with other Twitter users, and apparently, some of them are rather scary. Now we'll head over to Talk Nerdy to Me, our love letter to games you may not have heard of.
Hey everyone, it's Mackenzie Doherty, and this week we have something a little different for you. I had an email interview with YouTuber and Twitch streamer Zine.
Hey guys, what's going on? Zine here with another episode of Trollcraft Behind the Scenes. This episode is taken from a stream that I recently did where I set up the sewage teleport troll.
And he gave me some advice for you guys. As a little background, he started wanting to express his clownish side in the same way that Gassy Mexican and Cnair's prop puns went. He also watched Captain Sparkle's ultra modded survival series and was introduced to Twitch through Captain Sparkle's Maya Knight series. Zine now does series with Captain Sparkles and told how he did it. At first, he was part of the Maya Knight subreddit and sent in 2 applications to help out with the behind the scenes of the Maya Knight streaming series. One of the biggest failings with the workers is that they were not supposed to interact with the streamers outside of their own characters. As the season progressed, Zine ended up ignoring that more and more and eventually started coordinating semi-directly with the streamers. And him doing that when Captain Sparkles and Waglington, another streamer from the series, asked him to help do the technical setup to create the episodes, Zine and Captain Sparkles' working relationship was furthered by this before the cancellation, and Captain Sparkles asked Zine to help out with the YouTube series Trollcraft. After that, the two started recording episodes directly together. One of Zine's biggest struggle in growing his channel is time. In addition to maintaining his YouTube channel and streaming on Twitch, Zine also has a full-time job. There has been some smaller sacrifices made like personal time and sleep, but Zine says that his biggest barrier is not being able to steadily produce more content. Trying to find a balance between new and old material is not a big issue at the moment for Zine. He's tried to build his channel around himself and not the games. He doesn't try to commit enough to a single game that people want to watch it because he's good. The exception to that are Minecraft and Alien Isolation. Zine says his core audience is pretty tolerant to what he wants to play, and his main priority is that it's a game he can enjoy and have fun with, so that he can project that fun onto his viewers. His YouTube is much more Minecraft focused, because that's where almost all of his audience originated from. Captain Sparkles also typically records Minecraft. Because of time requirements, Zine hasn't branched strongly into recording other games, so there is a conflict between new material versus red meat for the audience. Finally, Zine has some advice for anyone wanting to branch out into YouTube and Twitch. The biggest piece of advice he has is for people to understand that successful YouTube gaming channels are not just recordings of some guys playing games, even if it's structured to look that way, but it is about producing the content and producing an entertaining show. The audience needs to be entertained, either through exceptional gameplay or through commentary and personality. Quote, "Getting paid to play video games," end quote, is not real. Getting paid to produce an entertainment show where the video game is a backdrop for either your wit or skill is more what it is. Zine says that anyone with an internet connection and optionally a webcam can start broadcasting or recording. But by the time you've put in real effort, you've studied audio engineering, copyright law, public speaking, researched computer equipment, compared broadcast software, collaborated with peers, studied audio engineering more, etc., etc. He says it's expensive, it's hard, and it's work. He also threw in that you need a healthy dash of luck too. A special thank you to Zine for doing an email interview. You can check out Zine on YouTube at youtube.com/Zine or on Twitch at twitch.tv/thezine. This is Mackenzie Doherty, and you're watching Gentoo.
Thank you for watching Gentoo. I'm Mackenzie Doherty. Stay tuned for Project Delta, where bad games go to die and good games get played badly. Gentoo and Delta air each week, Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. And you can watch our content online at facebook.com/Gentoo8 and on KNWT's YouTube page.
Hello and welcome to Project Delta. Today we're gonna wrestle because the newest 2K wrestling game came out. Dalton knows more about it than me, and I'm gonna get beat up. I'm your host, Nathaniel. Let's go. What did you do?
I didn't do it. Oh, my controller's dying.
Oh, your controller died.
Nice.
Well, this is great.
Good start. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Oh, wow. I am playing as the Undertaker, and I'm getting clothesline now. Limit break. What? How do I? No, stop it.
I'm playing as the always elusive John Cena. It's rare to actually see him, but thankfully the game has.
Are you taunting in between your punches? Are you kidding me?
Thankfully the game is able to render him in. I'm not sure how they got any footage of someone who is so hard to see, but we got it done.
Oh, okay, cool. What? Thanks, tutorials. So yeah, so you know WWE, you watch the WWE a lot?
Oh yeah, I always love me some good old wrestling. You got Monday Night Raw and now Tuesday Night SmackDown because Friday Night SmackDown just wasn't doing it. So you get 2 nights in a row or 3 nights in a row if it's a pay-per-view on Sunday.
Yeah, that's awesome. So who's your favorite wrestler?
My favorite wrestler, he's not in this game because this game is 2012, but it's probably going to be AJ Styles. They call him the Phenomenal One, and he's got probably one of the coolest finishing moves, which is basically if the guy taking the move takes it wrong, you break your neck. So
oh wow.
you got to know how to wrestle if you're going to wrestle.
So this is Mortal Kombat then?
Yeah, something like that. Actually,
is this a new skin?
Actually, in the production truck, they have guys who they press a button and it plays the thing from Mortal Kombat, where it just shows him breaking his spine.
Oh, that's awesome. My personal favorite wrestler is not from the WWE. He is from the WWF, and that would be the great and late man, macho man, Randy Savage. May he rest in peace. You know. He couldn't control what happened to him. It was kind of sad.
And Slim Jims will never be the same.
They will. They will never be the same ever again. And the Spider-Man franchise will never be the same without Bonesaw. Because as we all know, Bonesaw is indeed ready. So right now we got a Royal Rumble going on.
Oh, you messed up my finisher. I was going to hit him with an attitude adjustment, so now you get punished.
Okay.
Let Big Daddy John handle you.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see The Undertaker finally get retired a couple years ago.
Undertaker's kind of like an annoying itch. He always ends up coming back, actually, except...
Yeah.
I believe he wrestled at this past year's WrestleMania, and I've heard that he's going to be coming back for, it's the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw coming in January of next year.
Yeah. Honestly, I would like to see... somebody take up the mantle of Undertaker, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have him be like Batman. Somebody picks up the hat. Because, ow, my jaw.
They've tried to do it with the guy, Bray Wyatt, but the way that they push Bray and how they book him to win and lose matches really is very counterproductive to how they want to have him be like Undertaker.
Yeah.
So they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot and losing out on a big opportunity, but...
Sorry, we just had a minute there where friggin' Undertaker looked at the dude and he was like, no, you throw me that way, in the corner. Yeah. I absolutely love the concept of the WWE, just a wrestling show about a wrestling show.
Yeah.
Because, it's not wrestling, but it is physical. They are athletes.
Yep, it seems like more often than not people get injured quite a lot. If you ever do pay attention to stuff, it's like, the guy who's about to win the title, he got the mumps. That's been a big thing lately, is a lot of them are getting the mumps. So they get taken off of shows.
Are they all anti-vaxxers, just like refusing to get shots?
They might be, but it's really weird that's even a thing.
Yeah. Next you're going to tell me they have the measles or, polio. Just they didn't get the shots for it. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Can you, why? Am I not supposed to hit those?
I think you are supposed to hit those.
No! Oh no, the Undertaker.
The dead man dies. You're probably going to want to pick, 7.
7.
The great thing about this game is once you get thrown out, you can come back in, so it's not just him getting to watch me give everybody else 5-knuckle shuffles.
I'm just gonna, don't mind Undertaker, I'm just gonna get out of here.
Yeah,
for
slowly.
a minute. So you are hitting those buttons, not me.
We both are. I think it's like a quick time for both of us.
Interesting. I have no control yet. Here I come. Oh my God.
Mark Henry, the world's strongest man.
I friggin'.
Let me just help the Big Show throw out Bad News Barrett here for a second.
Can I know I'm a big boy, but can I sprint into the ring, please?
No, you got to take your time.
We're taping something right now, man. Can you just pick up that pace?
The more time you're on the ramp, the less time you're in there getting thrown out.
True. Don't mind me, just gonna lumber my way in here. Oh, hey, John Cena, don't mind me. Hello.
Uh-oh.
No, you don't.
Here, see you later, Mark. I'll just, you can't see me in this corner, so there's actually only 2 people on the mat right now. Oh, there we go. Here, I'll break you out. I'll give you some help with the big boy. Whoa, okay. No help needed.
Let me keep punching him in the corner like it was before we were recording. I want to do good. No. No. Damn it.
So this game, actually, I think WWE 13 was the last one made by THQ. So this one is made by THQ, where 2014 was the first year that 2K took over and have kind of revitalized it, where it used to be almost a laughingstock kind of game.
Oh yeah.
But now it's got all kind of upgrades, and it's more like the 2K basketball series, where you can buy upgrades for your guy. You can do WrestleMania storylines. Mark Henry's beating me back.
Don't push me over the edge.
Leave me alone.
I'm just. Oh, sweet. Elbow drop. Oof.
Oof. Indeed.
Oof is the main noise, the sound effect that goes with wrestling.
With everything. It's probably like the best onomatopoeia of this generation.
I mean, I like some of the comic book ones. I like Thwip from Spider-Man. That's a good one. Thwip, Bamf. Ow, that wasn't, he just stepped on me. That's extremely rude.
Oh, he's the Big Show.
I understand that.
In his music, in his entrance song, it just starts off, well, it's the Big Show.
We're going to get copyright struck for that. You better watch out.
I hope so.
All right, well, this has been Project Delta. We wrestled. I wrestled poorly. You can tune in to Gentoo and Project Delta every Monday through Thursday from, oh God, I remember, 8 to something. At 8. Just tune in at 8. I'm distracted. I'm losing. I can't lose the game. But yeah, keep watching Channel 8 because we're a good show and we have good stuff. You disgust me. All I've done is, that's all I've done.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'll take you, John Cena.
Oh, thanks for the elbow drop.